Welcome back. We're in Genesis 5. This is the descendants of Adam. It's not a popular chapter, but it's extremely important. I'll tell you why. We'll read through it. It's important to know the lineage and the timelines that everybody lived, because the amount of years between Adam and Moses, Abraham, Noah in particular, Noah and Abraham, and then to Moses, is a long time. But the generations are very short. The overlap is very short. And it's important for us to be able to track from Adam to Noah, from Noah to Abraham, Abraham to Abraham to David or Jacob, Jacob, his 12 sons, track all those lines down to David, David down to Joseph, Mary, Jesus, right? So it's very important that we be able to trace the lineage, but also the timelines are important, because what we'll find is that Adam was alive all the way up during the life of Methuselah, who was alive during the time of Noah. So Noah is getting secondhand the account of the flood. Noah is Abraham's grandfather. When Abraham is growing up, he has to do a similar thing to Moses and Jesus, where he's got to flee. Nimrod's trying to kill him. Abraham and Moses and Noah they live together for a long time. And then Abraham goes to live with his father again. So Abraham is getting third-hand information. Adam was alive during Methuselah. Methuselah was alive during Noah. Possibly Adam and Noah were around at the same time. So it's either first or second-hand information that Noah is getting. Noah is giving that to Abraham. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Abraham's alive during Jacob's life. Jacob has the 12 tribes. So it's very, very short. Very short. One of Jacob's sons is Joseph. Joseph is the last ruler before they go into slavery. Moses. It's all super close. Moses, as we'll see, I think he's 4 or 5 guys away from creation. So it keeps it very tight. So let's get into it. The names are going to be a little bit difficult, but this is important. We're going to read through it. Bear with me. I don't know how to pronounce 99% of these names. This, Genesis 5, this is the book of the generations of Adam. And the day when God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. He created them, male and female, and he blessed them and named them man in the day when they were created. When Adam lived 130 years, he became the father of a son in his own likeness, according to his image, and named him Seth. So they've been kicking around for a long time. And this is just Seth. This is not Cain. This is not Abel. This is not any daughters that they had. This is just Seth. Because the other two presumably, at least Abel may have not had any children. And Cain, nobody cares about his. He had children, but nobody cares about his. They're not honored in this, I don't believe. Anyway, let's proceed. Then the days of Adam after he became the father of Seth were 800 years. And he had other sons and daughters. You see, Earth's getting populated very heavily, very quickly. 800 years. People can have 12, 13 kids in a lifetime back in the day. This dude's living 15 lifetimes. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Seth lived 105 years, and he became the father of Enoch. Then Seth lived 800 107 years after he became the father of Enosh. And he had other sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Enosh lived 90 years, and he became the father of Kenan. Then Enosh lived 815 years, and he became the father, after he became the father of Kenan, and he had other sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. Kenan lived 70 years, and he became the father of Mahalalel. Then Kenan lived 840 years, and after he became the father of Mahalalel, and he had other sons and daughters. So all the days of Kenan were 910 years, and he died. Mahalalel lived 65 years. They're having children younger and younger. And he became the father of Jared. Then Mahalalel lived 830 years after he became the father of Jared, and he had other sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. Jared lived 162 years and became the father of Enoch. Then Jared lived 800 years after he became the father of Enoch, and he had other sons and daughters. So all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Enoch lived 65 years, and he became the father of Methuselah. Then Enoch walked with God 300 years after he became the father of Methuselah, and he had other sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Didn't die. Walked off into the desert, never saw him again, never got his body. God presumably raptured him. Methuselah lived 187 years and became the father of Lamech, who we read about in the last one. Then Methuselah lived 782 years, and after he became the father of Lamech and had other sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Just shy of 1,000. That is insane. Lamech lived 182 years and became the father of a son. Now, he called his name Noah. This one will give us rest from our work and from the toil of our hands arising from the ground which the Lord has cursed. Not the rest he was thinking. Then Lamech lived 595 years after he became the father of Noah, and he had other sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 777 years. 777 years, and he died. Noah was 500 years old, and Noah became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So again, it's important to be tracking these sons down, because not only does it give us a direct line, a direct lineage right back to Jesus, and I believe it was Luke that, I think it was, I don't know, maybe we didn't read it. Maybe it was maybe it was when I was doing the Shadow Band podcast, we did it. I can't remember if we've covered this already, but in one of the Gospels, they go backwards. They go Jesus all the way back to Adam. So, and Adam back to Jesus. So this is important. And like I said, the years are also important to show that these guys' lifespans crossed over tremendously, so that the information that we have is pretty tight, is pretty reliable. So, and then we get to a cool call out for Enoch, and there's a bunch of stuff in the book of Enoch that, it definitely colors in what was happening at the time. Obviously, 2,000 years are passing during this time, and almost nothing is being written about it. And I think it's on purpose. God kind of wanted to strike a lot of that from the record so that it would not be repeated. But there are somewhat kind of credible accounts in Enoch and Jasher and the Apocalypse of Adam, the Book of Adam and Eve, whatever it's called, that kind of color in this time a little more. And you got to take a lot of it with a grain of salt, because there's things in it that cast some doubt on whether it's very accurate or not. And when we do the recap for this week, I'll get into those, because I've read a bunch of all three of those books. So I'll fill you in on some interesting things, because there's stuff happens. When I talk about weird things, breakaway civilizations, all that, listen, there's pyramids that shouldn't exist, that calculate things no one should have been able to know. And if those coils underneath them are real, even more so, shouldn't exist. There's structures all over the world, shouldn't exist for the time that they were created. And according to the Egyptologist people that studied the pyramids or whatever, all that stuff on them is water erosion. How does water get up that high in a desert? It's what? It's pretty remarkable. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Read your Bible.